What's up, y'all? This is Jason Nelson, stand-up comedian, author, writer, producer of live shows, events, and more. Focus on the Funny LLC. Man, today was an awesome day. Long day, but a blessed day. I woke up this morning, took care of business, and I was invited by my partner, my brother in Christ. You know, we both pretty much got saved around the same time, 2 years ago at the Spirit Church, where got the men's locker room shirt on, rocking my men's locker room bracelet. Shout out to my brothers at the Spirit Church. Um, and as y'all know, I used to go there, be super lit. Y'all know that I used to struggle with alcohol abuse. Now I still drink, but for it's abusing alcohol, by the grace of God, I've been healed and delivered. Of course, faith without works is dead, so I've been doing the work. Part of doing the work for me, besides praying, is also acknowledging I have an issue and continue to work on it, as well as going to therapy. Occasionally, I drop into some NAAA meetings and whatnot. Many of you all know I had a massive mental breakdown when my unresolved childhood trauma started bubbling its ugly head after therapy, after my second divorce. The feelings of abandonment, neglect, not feeling good enough, and I just hated being in St. Louis, Missouri, because some of my worst life experiences happened here in my developmental years, in some parts of my adult life. And then, the first woman I was married to, unfortunately, rest in peace to the gracious, beautiful Miss Felicia Steeples. And that had tore me apart because I felt a lot of guilt and remorse for things I did and said and didn't do and stuff when I was younger, which touches on what we discussed. So what I've been doing is making myself more open and accessible and willing to broaden my horizons. One of the things I've been seeking to do is go from being in the dark and going into the light. Sometimes I'm afraid to go into the light because they say what's in the dark comes to light. So I got a lot of things from my past that I'm not proud of. A lot of things in my past that I'm ashamed of. A lot of things in my past that I wish I had never said or did. So it kind of made me want to stay in the dark. But I said, fuck it. I got to trust God with everything. Not just my finances. Not just my bills or whatever. I need to trust God even with my shame. Trust God with my guilt. And one thing I had to learn in recent years is I don't have to be strong alone. Or I don't have to dwell in weakness. I can depend upon the strength of God first and foremost. And through people, God's strength can be shared. That's just for me. I'm not here to tell you what you should do or not do. So, last week I found me a AA group. It say NA, but they got AA steps on the wall, so that's why I say AA. So I found me a group for that, and which is pretty nice. In all transparency, I'm not looking to live a life without alcohol, but that's also because I'm an addict. I am addicted to alcohol. I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink all day, every day, but it's constantly on my mind. It dictates a lot of my choices and decision making. I wasn't a fan of alcohol until I had turned to it as a coping mechanism through some traumatic experiences. I came to the acceptance I enjoy alcohol. I just don't like to abuse alcohol. And I do not like to turn to it when I'm already agitated or angry. Usually it's like because I want to chill, relax, things of that nature. Right now, that sounds horrible, but that's just where I'm at as of right now. As of right now. Today. So I got that, and of course I have my family at church. I have my regular family too, who has been very supportive, even when it wasn't easy. Shout out to my mother, my brother, my sister, my stepfather, numerous cousins and aunts, because I became somebody that I normally wasn't known to be, but by the grace of God, He kept me. And now I believe through Athena Healthcare at 1717 Biddle. Once a month, they do Black Men's Mental Health Gathering, where it's a professional counselor there who is able to moderate discussions that we have around our mental health and what causes us to do things. Now, There's a lot of good food there. I have been laying out the red meat and the pork, but I most definitely today tried a fried rib for the very first time. It was delicious. This guy, I think his name is Mr. Toya, the counselor. He brought this barbecue sauce. It was fire. They did have salad. I ate the salad. But it was a great atmosphere. I saw my boy Pancho Rucker, who I missed a lot. I haven't seen him in like 3 years. Last time we really communicated, we were at odds. And he is one of the people who said, Jason, you need to go get help. I can't deal with you while you're refusing to go get help. And it was 3 years ago when I was at the height of my success, my popularity for my company as a comedian. And I was like, fuck it. So I'm going out gun blazing, because at the time I was just so hurt. But I was naive to how hurt I was. I did not realize how weak I became. Other people saw it more so than me until I hit rock bottom, and then I was able to see it. So we was able to have some great discussion, him and I individually, make amends, show some love, share some resource information. He helped me to get health insurance for the first time since my 20s. So I'll be able to go to the doctor, the eye doctor, the dentist. So I thank you for that, man. That's a huge burden lifted off my shoulders, because I have been concerned about my health. My blood pressure is usually so high, not only because of, I'm eating better compared to how I used to, but the way I manage stress, and it bothers me a lot. So that was a blessing. And like I said, my brother in Christ, Dolo Ray, he invited me to this place, and I'm thankful for that. And while there, man, we were discussing stuff, and there was some stuff I took some notes of. One thing we talked about that came up, I gotta forgive myself for not having the skills that I have now, like when I was younger. Like the way I know how to earn money now or budget now. I didn't have those skills back then. It didn't mean I didn't have the desire, or when it came to being a great man in a relationship or a great father. I didn't have the skills because I wasn't taught, and I had to go through what I went through. So the reason why they brought that up, because which the counselor said, hey, I got to work on being accepting for who I am, learn to like myself, and then love myself, but be patient in my process. Then he also talked about how I had to learn how to chew bubble gum and walk. He said that, like, while I'm being proud of myself, it's okay to grieve daily. The reason why I'm grieving is because my relationship with my children from my marriages isn't where I want or need it to be as a dad. And that bothers me daily. But I have to walk and chew bubblegum simultaneously. I have to continue to push forward, not dwell on the past, but also give myself space to be human and acknowledge, hey, I am sad and disappointed in this. And he brought up this term called traumatic invalidation, where basically I've been accustomed to being a people pleaser and appeasing people, and I'm measuring my value based on other people's standards and expectations and not that of my own. Just like when I got married, not to discredit anything that these women think or felt, but both women said they married me because I was ambitious. They said they both knew I wanted something out of life. They both literally left me, they said, because I was broke. The second woman I was married to said she married me with my brain. I should have been a millionaire, but I was never motivated by money. I wasn't anti-money. I wasn't motivated by money. I worked in human services. I was a youth care worker because I grew up in group homes. And even thinking about that, like living in group homes, I had to learn how to be appeasing to all my staff, the social worker, the DFS worker, the judge, the DGO, the therapist, the psychiatrist, and then your family, so you could get approved for passes or to go home. And I wasn't in there for behavior. I was in there due to being abused. And those are things I never really addressed until my late 30s. And I'm 40. So I'm holding in nearly 4 decades worth of unresolved childhood traumas and issues, plus new experiences. And then it just hit me all at once. So by the grace of God, my willingness to keep pushing forward and persevering, that now I have additional community. Through this group, once a month, I have my church family and those men, and then I have the NA home, as well as the people that I'm meeting along the way. And I thank God for it.